I'm like, man, if you strengthen marriages and families, you can strengthen just a whole community. And I think that's what really prompted me to start pursuing that career field. My name's Dr. Jomo Thomas. I work for Vibrant Emotional Health, and I currently am attached to specialized programs in the Tampa Bay Let's Talk helpline. And that's a crisis line that serves the Hillsborough Community County here in the Tampa metro area. And what I do as a clinical manager is I support the supervisors and the crisis counselors to managing and answering that line and supporting residents in the Hillsborough County. The first time I ever reached out about mental health support, where it was my reaching out, I was in the military, and my spouse at the time, we were really going through some difficult seasons, some difficult times. And man, I just remember going to my first sergeant and saying, hey, I need some help. And he sent me to, at that time, I think it was called One Source, and they were able to connect me with a counselor to work through some personal issues, but also some marital issues. I think the one thing of reaching out to counseling in those early days taught me was that you have to change yourself. You know, you kind of go into it wanting your spouse to change, or your partner to change, or the situation to change. And even though other things need to change, the only thing you have control over is yourself. And if you change, you make 50% of the situation better. And I remember the therapist that I saw saying that, and it stuck with me, that regardless of what anybody else does, if you change, well, that part of it is fixed, or at least better. And I think that was very impactful for me at that time. I think there's a stigma amongst people of color, particularly African-American males or African-Americans, period, about behavioral health. I think that in a lot of communities, it was seen as something that African-Americans didn't do. It wasn't seen as something that we could either afford or something that would work for us, right? Quite frankly, it was, at least the community I grew up in, it was something that people that were white people did. And that's kind of what was said. And I think what I would say to individuals is, one, if you don't do anything different, nothing will ever change. And two, that being able to process and talk through challenges and difficulties is typically the first step to being able to overcome them. And that strength is not found in being by yourself and being alone, but strength is found in being able to admit that you need help, and being able to admit that you need to talk, right? And I think the truth is that counseling has been around since the dawn of ages, and what it really changed is some of the methods that we've employed it.